Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of Ireland Esports Collegiate Winter, where we have got a pretty interesting game to start us all off today. We've got SETU Black Ice on the blue side up against DCU Competitive Woods. I am OBK99. Joining me today is Heltic. Heltic, how are you doing, man?
I am doing good. Excited from all this Worlds hype. Hoping to see some good plays in these games as well. These two teams, of course, played each other last week, and it went in the favor of SETU Black Ice. So, gonna see if DCU Woods can get the revenge this week.
Some interesting picks coming out here. The Aurora mid lane, straight out of Worlds. Is this what we're going to expect?
Aurora, super high ban rate in Worlds, I believe. I can actually find the number on it in just a minute, but it's basically always banned. It's like very close to Yone in terms of ban rate. So I'm not surprised to see it come out here. We saw Grotesque play the Ari into them last week and end up with a 17-1 KD, so not surprised to see that one back out again, seeing as it wasn't banned. The only big changes that we have between these two teams, between this game and their previous game, is that SETU Black Ice decided to ban out the Talia off of Voltec, and DCU Woods decided to ban the Camille of DWE.
EWE looks, from his performance, last game seems to be doing decently, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a pretty interesting series this time around. I know we see the side of DCU Competitive Woods. They're at a disadvantage here. They're losing early on, and especially with the BM coming out here for the side of SETU Black Ice, picking the Vayne. I mean, not picking a Kai'Sa, not going safe, just saying, look, I'm going to take this lane. I'm going to scale to late game, and if you let me snowball, I'm going to completely destroy your team. So it's some interesting change around, especially looking at the players there. Echo Fret's actually playing AD carry this time around. He was playing support last week. This time around, Sue Wood is now on the support on the Milio, and he is poking that Caitlyn and that Leona. Leona going to hit that E as the level 2 spice coming in. Caitlyn putting a lot of damage through there. Sue Wood very low, but the first blood going to go over to that Caitlyn on the side of DCU Competitive Woods.
Yeah, I think it's just Sue Wood completely just disrespecting the level 2 popping on the Caitlyn and the Leona first. And, you know, once that Send of Blade was available, gonna get him locked up and we'll be able to burn him down. And yeah, that's gonna be first kill going over to the Caitlyn.
Completely different from last week. This time around, it looks like DCU going to come out swinging, especially with the Caitlyn pick, because playing Vayne into Caitlyn as a Vayne OTP, I know very well that's a pretty rough lane early on, and you really need to play it safe. Echo Freds and Milio need to be really careful what they do here, because letting Caitlyn snowball, Caitlyn's been quite strong as well recently as well. You can play her lethality, you could go attack speed, but I think the lethality build here will do so much damage against a really squishy mid bot lane of the side of SETU Black Ice.
Yeah, it will indeed. And now, as we see the first few levels coming in, first few very quiet mid and top lane, just some trading of HP, but not anything in particular. But towards this bot side now, we have both junglers on the bot side. The Sedge has been spotted, and we'll just use that dash over the wall, start going for that bottom scuttle. Potentially the Maokai might try to contest here, just finishing off their Gromp. Will now know that the scuttle is gone. Meanwhile, in mid lane, we're gonna see where the Grotesque is gonna get a nice charm and take half the HP off of LPG Cake. But now on the bot side, that Sedge is gonna get caught, but just a little bit of chip damage.
Mats does get caught there, forced to use the flash. Again, another small victory for DCU Competitive Woods already. Taking the jungler flash away 4 minutes in is pretty big for Sejuani.
Yeah, it does.
And looking at a game, Voltec. He's already looking for the gank here. Flash forced out of the Ari. What is going on from this DCU team? They're playing completely different. They're forcing someone who's everywhere.
Yeah, LPG Cake deciding not to try to opt into anything on that Ari, just trying to catch as much of that CS as they can, as Grubs will be up starting very shortly. So the Sedge not having their smite gonna matter, or gonna get their flash gonna matter a lot. But Echo Fret's getting caught out here.
He's going to use the exhaust. Ekafresh trying to walk away. Nicely done from Crawlington. Thought he might have had the damage. Caitlyn now getting knocked back a bit. Quite low herself, but Leona goes in, takes a tower shot for the trouble, and that's pretty rough. Vayne going to pick up 1 kill. Is she going to pick up 2? Going to try and use her own flash. Has the cleanse available if need be. Not that she can use it anyway, but that is going to be a 1-for-0 there in favor of the side of SETU. And SETU now, Vayne's quite low, Caitlyn's quite low, but especially since the fact that Caitlyn has the flash right now, I really wouldn't want to be walking forward if I was that Vayne.
Yeah, Echo Fret's luckily dodging the net from the Caitlyn to be able to live out that one. The Condemn gonna lock him down, and the barrier though gonna secure another kill, but it's gonna be now even on that side, 2 for 2.
very close there. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Mats and DDE going to go onto this Renekton, who is incredibly low right now, and he does go down. Kill going to go over to this top laner and start the snowball for this Aurelia for the side of SETU Black Ice.
Yeah, we've seen some of those trades up in the top side earlier on, and ChipX was getting chipped down quite a bit, so not surprised to see the Sejuani move up there, try to get something on the cross map, kill over to the Aurelia, try to get, as you said, try to get that snowball in. Now up almost 15 CS, and it also gives them a little bit of prio over towards this top side, so they can look to go for those grubs once they spawn up.
At the moment, though, SETU Black Ice are kind of brought it back to a bit even. It was a bit ropey there at the very start, but right now it's back in their favor. They're up 1k gold. They've got a Vayne with a bit of scaling. Aurelia can be good after a couple items as well. They have a nice 4-1 as well. Ari can splits. They could do a 1-3-1 later on if need be as well. So overall, I actually really like what SETU Black Ice have drafted here. Maybe not the Vayne when something like a Kai'Sa or something like a Jin's available in the current meta, but I mean, play favor, play what you're comfortable on. If you think you can carry on Vayne, as potentially Echo Frets could do here, we'd like to see it, as the Grub fight might be started here between the Maokai and the Renekton. We see DCU not trying to give this away easily. The members are going in here. SETU pushing forward, trying to do something, trying to do a bit of numbers, as we see the Aurora going to use her own ulti between the worlds there, trying to lock someone down, but Matt's getting taken out there. DCU trying to get away. Voltaic going to use his flash, going to go down, and that's going to be 2 kills going over to the side of SETU Black Ice.
Yeah, it was just not it wasn't DCU's fight to be able to take, and LPG Cake now gonna get caught out, doesn't have that ultimate to get away. He burns the flash and manages to live just barely on a sliver of HP. But yeah, the movement for SETU was great. You know, they got that kill on top side. They know they have the prio for Grub, so they go and take it, and it's a fight that DCU decided to opt into, and sadly they do lose it, so the gold is going to swing in favor of SETU Black Ice.
At the moment, SETU really just starting it. Aurelia 2-0-1 right now. She's going to be quite strong later on, so they really want to make sure they shut this down, try to get some serious numbers out there, as the Caitlyn, just a very aggressive pick all around, and especially if she does opt for that lethality bit, which I think she is with the double longsword pickaxe. She might go collect her first item, but regardless, it's a pretty good first item anyway. And versus Vayne Milio, this should be fairly decent. She's 15 CS up, 16 CS up at the moment. So I'd kind of expect Caitlyn to kind of win this lane, but maybe not play it too aggressive here. The Solar Flare connects onto Echo Fritz. Down goes the Vayne. Next will be Milio. Caitlyn trying to use that net. She does pick up the kill, and that's 2 kills for Sagittarius. 1-2-1-7.
Great play from Sagittarius there, just playing with that turret aggro line, and manages to break the turret aggro, goes back in to finish off the Milio, steps back out of the turret aggro, 2 kills and another plate gonna go over to them. This bot side of DCU definitely stepping it up since last week.
Definitely stepping it up. They're playing really well right now, especially the Leona. That Solar Flare just barely connected onto the Vayne as well at that the bottom end of it as well. So it was really nicely done from DCU there. Caitlyn played really well around that turret. And I mean, even though you've got an Aurelia that's ahead, Caitlyn picking up the Collector is really big when Vayne hasn't completed her Blade of the Rune King.
Yeah, and of course that Vayne started off with a cull, and only has 40 CS in the first 8 minutes, so struggling against this Caitlyn in the early game, meaning that they're going to be a bit slowed down with that cull, but when it eventually does pop, it will help to catch him back up. But just a great play here going on to Voltaic, but the move from DCU. He
does pop his ulti actually before he dies. And Between Worlds going to get used there by the Aurora. Caitlyn in the backline trying to do something. Matt's taken out by the Caitlyn. Grotesque Gamer now on the run. DCU doing okay right now, but Chipax walking a bit too far forward there. He is incredibly low HP at the moment. He needs to play this a bit safer, but overall, it's really back and forth between these two teams in a game that really was not close at all last week, it seems.
Yeah, and yeah, just great counterplay there. They're gonna see Voltaic get caught out. The move from the mid and bot lane of DCU perfectly timed to be able to come in and catch it and get those kills back. And yeah, LBGK, great move to help out there. On the top side, Chipex was pretty safe. He has the stun underneath the tower, and just trying to stop the Aurelia's stacks, get them to time out, which he did. So the Aurelia just had to leave, couldn't go for the dive. But now we have this Sedge on bot side once again. Milio trying to get the knock up on the Sagittarius, and has to be careful here. The Sedge has been spotted though. Voltaic is here in response, just trying to cover for this.
Dragon is up right now as well. First dragon has not been taken, and it is the mountain dragon. Meanwhile, on the top side, DWE and Chipback just going at it back and forward. But with both junglers around this bottom side, all hype will be around the dragon, and TPs are available for both top laners this time around.
Yeah, it's going to see some priority starting to come up now as well, because second grubs already came and gone, I believe. So we should be seeing, or either they're very soon or they've already gone. But Crawling Titan actually going to get caught out and has to be very careful here. But big damage from Sagittarius. That's that collector coming in.
Solar Flare as well onto Sejuani and the Milio, who are both trying to run away. So much damage being done out here by this Caitlyn. It's a double kill for Sagittarius. He is doing so many numbers at the moment. Collector completed, Boots started, and his lethality as well. So the damage is only going to go up from here if he does opt to go more lethality-wise.
Yeah, and that's the big thing that I think they underestimated there. They thought they could go in onto Crawling Titan. Chipx has to be very careful here. Meanwhile, in mid as well, Cake getting charmed. DWE just has to dash once through Chipx, and yeah, that's going to be a kill on over. So DWE still just trying to save as much as they can on that top side. But over towards that bot side, yeah, I think they underestimated how much damage Sagittarius does, especially with the Collector just absolutely obliterating that Milio's health bar. And
if you check the goals as well, he's about 2.4, 2.4k up right now as well.
Yeah, and that's just going to continue. And it doesn't seem to be slowing down as well. Grabbing more and more plates here. Should have, yeah, has 2k gold, so she should almost have another item on base. About 2/3 of an item complete. Probably going to go for, I actually don't know what Caitlin's going to go for second item here.
Really depends what she's feeling at the moment, but essentially more damage is good for Caitlyn. And I mean, regardless, she's going to need to do a lot of work to get this Aurelia later on to try and stop the Sejuani. As we see the Between Worlds going to use there. Out comes the Nature's Grasp from the Maokai. Does it connect on anyone? It does actually catch the Sejuani, but DWE does catch the Renekton. He's going in hyper aggressive here. He's looking for Cake. Cake trying to flash away with his tail between his legs there. Ultis are not available. Charm trying to connect there. Down goes Voltaic, but the Solar Flare lands onto Mats. But the other members of DCU trying to run away here as SETU managed to pull it all off there and managed to, from the looks of things, get the grubs. But Sagittarius is trying to chase down Echo Frets.
Yeah, they tried to contest that. They managed to actually take away 2 of those grubs to try stop that 4 grub buff, but it's all for naught. They only get 2. The 4th grub goes over to the side of SETU, and now that tower taking buff is available for them.
They have the 6 grubs. They can do a lot, and especially with this Aurelia, who's got a full item and a bit, her split push is going to be quite crazy, and I really think the side of DCU needs to be really careful. At the moment, though, we see Echo Frets and Sue Wood pushing forward at the moment. They're currently down about nearly 40 CS there. It's never really out with Vayne, because you can still find an angle to get in. You can still find a condemn angle for the Aurelia, so there are ways where she can still be useful in fights, but this is really not the spot you want to be in at Vayne, especially when you don't have Blade of the Rune King on your recall either. Oh, you do. You barely have it, but you have Blade of the Rune King on your recall, but you don't have your 2/2 boots. So you're going to compete with a Caitlyn who's just completed her tier 2 boots herself and has also got a BF sword on top of that. I really kind of worry for Vayne cocking into this laning phase right now, because Blade of the Rune King, you need to be in close range to get those autos off.
Yeah, now just going to this lull in this, just before the 14-minute mark. 3 seconds left. Going to grab another plate for Sagittarius, extending that gold lead once again. You can see half the HP gone off of Echo Frets with that headshot from the Caitlyn. Sejuani down towards this bot side once again. Doesn't have the Maokai this time to be able to back them up, so they have to be careful here, especially because the RE Grotesque Gamer going to be rotating over here. So this should just be...
Oh, he flashed the Glacial Prison, though. Really well played from Sagittarius. In comes the Ari. The charm does connect. Barrier gets used. Shut down. Going over to the Milio. Not where you want it to go, but it doesn't matter as they're chasing down Crawling Titan. Pushing forward. Grotesque Gamer picks himself up a kill. 2 for the side of SETU Black Ice.
Yeah, what a great play. Just coming out of them there. They know they have to do something. They're now even up, back up in that gold with 3 kills up 11-8. And yeah, just great play from Grotesque Gamer to be able to catch the Maokai off on that top side, so they know they can go for that bot side play.
Overall, SETU Black Ice back in control. Dragon going to be up in a minute as well. They're clearing wards for this. This is nice to see from SETU Black Ice. DCU now on that back foot here nearly, because top jungle are very far behind in comparison to what the side of SETU Black Ice are doing. Okay, your bot lane's a bit behind, but that doesn't really matter when you've got an Aurelia with nearly 2 items on recall. Sejuani, who's building supportive items anyway, and then Ari, who's 205 and really has been like scooping people up and nearly has 10 CS a minute as well.
Yeah, doing a great job. Condemn here onto Cake. Ekafret's gonna try catch him off, but of course that ultimate coming out from Cake, being able to bring them to safety. Has to be careful. He goes back in for another attempt. Actually, Dan manages to almost kill Ekafret's. Grotesque Gamer now gonna pop the ult. Sagittarius just gonna be dead here. Ult coming in for Voltaic, so they can try to get something back, but
I don't know about the solar flare from Leona there. I really don't think there was anything she could do. But meanwhile, Matt is trying to walk away from this. Honestly, I think you should have maybe held on to the solar flare a bit later. I don't think they were ever really going to kill the Sejuani or the Ari there. But sure, look, Dragon is up in 30 seconds. Both teams are aware of this. SETU are pathing bot. You can see Sejuani already hovering on a red side, ready to go in for this.
yeah, Chipex now trying to... He's just going to land the stun. Actually managed to get a tower shot onto DWE, but just going to be able to walk away from that one. Herald is available, like you said, so should be looking towards this top side now. Maokai already moved up towards there. They've swapped the mid and bot lane for the side of DCU as well, now that that first tower is gone. And we can see the movement leading towards this mid, so see if we can potentially try to catch someone off. Not gonna... Cake's actually just going to respect it and decide to walk back in towards the jungle. They know they have that information of them in the river. Gonna go down, try to push out another bot wave potentially, but now with the Ari potentially spotted here in mid, wouldn't be surprised to see Cake start to move up.
We see as well DCU all mid lane, bar the Aurora. SETU have a bit of chokehold here. With Dragon just starting, they're just pushing for it, maybe looking to get a pick, but DCU really have no control over this. It's really up to the side of SETU Black Ice right now with the stronger picks. Aurelia completed the second item as the Glacial Prison connects onto Leona. Nowhere you're going there as Grotesque Gamer picks up a kill. Charm just narrowly misses on Sagittarius as well. Sagittarius was just straight up dead there if they walk forward.
Cake gonna get hit by Ekafret's, but it's not gonna matter that much. Oh, Voltaic getting caught by the charm. Grotesque Gamer doing so well in this to be able to catch. That's the third or fourth one they've hit that has mattered so much. And but yeah, Voltaic just gonna get stunned up here. And meanwhile, in mid, there's another fight. Ekafret's gets taken down low, but the Q missing off of Sagittarius is gonna keep him alive. And now just caught between an Aurelia and Emilio will be taken out.
Yeah, that 6-2 starts now 6-4 for Sagittarius. This really is not going the way you'd want it to go. 15-8 in kills right now, and it's going to be a Dragon going over to the side of SETU Black Ice, uncontested. Chipax maybe in the top lane, thinking he can do something here, but with Aurelia currently sitting on 2 items, it's going to be quite hard. And I think at the moment SETU in a bit more dominant position here. They're currently 4k gold up. They can push pretty aggressively here. And I really think with the objectives down as well, and with Baron spawning at 20, I really don't see DCU being able to do too much right now, with SETU being so strong. They need to tunnel up, play these fights a bit more front to back, and really just not get caught there, because Sagittarius getting caught is the worst outcome for DCU. As DWE is pushing in this tier 2 turret. Renekton is only arriving now at the scene. Rift Herald is going to die soon. But do you think they have a Rift Herald before it gets rid of it? Yeah, they're going to start it. Maybe try and take it before Baron spawns. I like this play from SETU, because if they take this, they can just push and run down DCU's base. And I think they're quite strong where they can probably just do it anyway. Blue team picking up that Rift Herald.
Yeah, great play from them. Yeah, gonna grab the Herald and probably gonna drop it over towards this mid, I'd say. Gonna crack that mid tier 1, open up the jungle that little bit more, give themselves a little bit of space. They've already started trying to scatter some wards into that top side jungle, so just trying to spot them out as well and just continuing to scale up and slowly making their way back into this game. If we take a quick look at the gold, the Veins still down about 2.5k, but of course Sagittarius having a stormer early game with the first tower gold and the kills, so not surprising there. But the big gaps come in that top and that mid lane. We can see Grotesque Gamer Grotesque Gamer is up about 2.4k. Meanwhile, DWE using that gold advantage in the top side to try to get another kill onto ChipX, who just has to pop the Dominos to try to get away.
Flash was used from Chipax there. Baron has just spawned as well, and SETU Black Ice have really evolved the control around this Baron, and I think at any point they want, they can probably do it. Grotesque Gamer does not have the TP available, but he doesn't really need it if he can one-shot Cake. Cake, though, does have the TP advantage. Keep that in mind, and he does have the ulti available on the Aurora. Caitlyn also has 2 items completed. The Infinity Edge is done, so they'll start to do a bit more damage, but I don't know whether that's going to be enough. We'll have to see in these fights as Crawling Titan chasing it. Ekofret's connecting with that E, trying to find something. Solar Flare not going to land. Ekofret's going to use the cleanse anyway, but Crawling Titan might have just spoiled their own doom as Mats arrives. Still has the Glacial Prison available if need be on this Sejuani. The ulti is around. Caitlyn pushing forward. The Q connects, kills Ekofret's. Down goes one, and the members of DCU trying to run away, but they can't as the ulti connects there from the Sejuani. Down goes Sagittarius, in comes the Aurelia, going to use the Vanguard's Edge as well. Down goes Leona, and DCU might just get aced here as they're trying to push forward, maybe a bit aggressively, but they are under turret. They're trying to defend it, they're trying to keep the members of SETU away. DWE taking a lot of tower shots right now, so is Grotesque Gamer. Charm connects onto Voltaic. Voltaic as well. No HP left. Down goes Voltaic, Renekton, and LWG check, but Grotesque Gamer still wants it anyway. Still wants this kill, and in regards, he gives the shutdown over as he just overextended.
Yeah, a lot of damage, or a lot of spells being used from DCU. Not a whole lot of damage coming out. That fight went on for a very long time with a lot of the members of SETU not taking any damage, and Matt's gonna walk away with 1 HP. So SETU starting to pull away now with that gold lead, now 5k across the entire team. And of course, with that foreground buff and that Herald, they're going to be able to crack that mid tower, half of the mid tier 2 as well. Baron now on the cards for both teams, potentially looking like they're just going to try to get it warded, just make sure that they can't have it stolen from them. But Drake's up in a minute, and it's tied so far 1-for-1 on Drake's. They had a late Drake start this game. Matt's now going to catch Sagittarius in mid though.
Mats doesn't have the ulti available, but it looks like he doesn't even need it as he's just going to chase him down. The Solar Flare lose by the Leona there, trying to slow down Mats, but it's not going to be enough as Milio uses his own ulti to keep Mats on track. Down goes 2 members of DCU. That is going to be the Baron for SETU Black Ice.
Yeah, this is what they had to be afraid of. Chips is actually going to have to leave as well. He can't even come to try and even contest this. The Aurora's on bot side with no TP, so this was just going to be a free Baron here.
SETU in a completely dominating position right now. Ekofret's also looking for Cake. Cake is 1-0-2, and Cake is getting dominated right now by the Vayne, just cause every other member of SETU is so far ahead. Even items-wise, the Aurora wasn't even as strong right there, but they stole the Baron! Oh my god, DCU managed to get it. Do they get away though? No, they don't. 2 members taken out there, but Sagittarius and Crawling Titan do get the Baron buff.
Yeah, coming just off the respawn, the timing on the TP with the Renekton coming in from the bot side as well. Just gotta get that Baron for them, and that is gonna matter if they want to try to hold in this game.
I mean, DCU picking up a Baron, I'd say I'd be pretty annoyed if I was SETU Black Ice right now, because I mean, you just took Dragon, you're in a really commanding position, and to lose Baron that way is just really unfortunate for them.
No, I don't know if it's a spectator bug or not, but it doesn't look to me like the Caitlyn and the Leona have the Baron buff. So if they don't, that's a bit unfortunate for the Baron steal. It was a great steal, but I think they might have came up a second after it died. And now just jungle camp's going to be taken away from Mats here. They have so much priority on the spot side that it just makes it hard for them to really play in here, and just taking as many resources away from Voltaic as they can. But Voltaic already are almost finishing off their second item, and quick little fight here. But SETU in a 2 versus 3 are taking the better half of this fight. Mats,
they might get Mats here.
Finally going to get taken down by the Caitlyn, and it is a 300 gold shutdown, but it's onto the Fed member of DCU. So hopefully that helps a little bit more. Just try to get the Caitlyn to 3-4 items so they can try to fight back into this game.
Right now, it is a really tough spot to be DCU. You're really fighting from a deficit. Yeah, it looks like no Baron on any of the members. They must have come out just too late as the Baron was stolen there, but it doesn't really matter right now as they still have an avenue back into it, but it is going to be a really slow crawl, especially with the 0-6 Maokai and the 1-5 Renekton. They are quite hard deficits to overcome, especially when you're going to have a 7-0 Aurelia with a Kraken Slayer completed, BF Sword, Wit's End, and a Blade of the Rune King staring down your entire team. He's stronger than literally anyone else in the game, bar maybe Caitlyn, and even then he's still 500 gold up on Caitlyn, so I would be very, very scared of DWE.
Yeah, and here Chivek's gonna get caught down again. Oh, and goes for it, but the Dominant's gonna come in, the stun under the tower, gonna deal a decent amount of damage to DWE, but just enough to get him to back away.
And SETU right now, as I said, just in a completely dominating position right now. DCU completely on the back foot here, and you can see it as well. They're just going to take their jungle, throw some wards in. DCU have nowhere to go where they can't be seen by SETU right now, because SETU are just all up in their jungle. They're in their business right now.
Bit of a black spot on that top side, but with Baron down for 3 minutes, there's no real reason for them to need that vision. It does mean that they can try to find some sort of flank angle, but it's so risky here because a big team fight loss here could cost them the game. So they're just gonna have to try to defend these pushing waves, scale up, and just try to go for a big team fight around an objective.
And there's no objectives up for 2 minutes. So right now, we're kind of in the lull between objectives right now. Dragon up in 2 minutes, Baron up in 2 minutes 30. So nothing crazy on the map. But if I was the side of DCU, I just would not give any kills over. Because as soon as you give a kill over, I'd say that's inhibitors. And I think DCU really need to turtle up right now. Hold steady, CS up and farm up and try and take a 5v5 fight at this next objective. Because if they in any way get a pick or someone gets picked off for the side of DCU, SETU can just capitalize on that and just push inhibitors and end the game.
Yeah, now they're just trying to claim back some of their jungle with the resets coming out from SETU. Just going to start clearing out some of this vision, trying to grab any of the camps that have been left for Voltaic, who hasn't been able to touch any of his camps for the last 4 or 5 minutes now. Meanwhile, Matt's got to do a full clear himself as well, try to get that third item online, which he's pretty close to. And yeah, just continuing to just catch. The biggest thing for DCU here is if one of the members of SETU do overstep, they can try to go for a collapse, but you know it is also quite hard because you have the Aurelia on one side lane, you have the Ahri on the other, so all they have to do is just ult and run away basically. So they can try to go for some sort of TP play basically if they can try get a war deep enough, but it's going to be so hard for them fighting it back from this position.
Echo Fretz hasn't even completed his tier 2 boots yet. He's just been like, I will build items only and I will not touch my boots. Quite a statement there from Echo Fretz. Meanwhile, Sagittarius decided he wanted to go for the rapid fire cannon. That's a fair item, especially with such a squishy team. You could kind of get a crit headshot out of their max range. That's kind of what you'd kind of hope from DCU, but they really need to get into the range of the side of SETU Black Ice, because SETU Black Ice can just dive them so quickly. Aurelia can get on them so quickly as well, and I really think they really need to be careful here. Because look, you see Sagittarius can do damage to Sejuani, but they really need cover. They need Renekton to be in front. They need Maokai to be in front. They need Aurelia, not Aurelia. They need Leona to be in front and to do all that tanking, to do that face work for them, so the Caitlyn can get these kills. But Grotesque Gamer doesn't actually connect the charm there, which was very close. Because if Sagittarius could hit there, I 100% think Sagittarius was dead.
And the big thing here is the damage onto the Sejuani doesn't matter, but Dominus coming in.
The ulti there from Milio, so clutch to stop the Nature's Grasp from that Maokai. Super well played there from Suwood. Heal going to be used as well. Solar Flare trying to do something with DWE, taking it to Renekton. Vayne, meanwhile, taking a Crawling Titan. Double kill for the Aurelia. Voltaic on the run from 5 members of SETU Black Ice. And this looks like it might just be the end of the Charm KNX onto Voltaic. That is probably going to be the inhibitors and maybe the game if they play the waves right.
Cake gonna get one consolation prize, but they are going to look towards the end of the game here. They have a wave in mid and 30-second death timers. It's only Cake left to try to stop them.
And they do also have the Void Grub buff as well, the 6 Grublings. So, I mean, they can clearly push this in. They still have the Cannon Minion alive. So 9 seconds on Sagittarius. Do they want to do it? No, they don't. But at the same time, who wants to stop them forcing Baron right now, which I think is what they're going to pass to right now.
Yeah, they have a decently fast Baron, but now we have a couple members of a DCU coming off of base, so they could try to run and try to stop this. It depends on how long this is going to take, but no, they're just melting this Baron.
Oh, it's so quickly, especially with the Aurelia right now. Nearly 4 items completed on her. Matt's also just doing a bit more tanking there. I think DCU are in a really scary spot, and if I was Sagittarius right now, I would be very careful walking in my jungle on my own.
Yeah, has to be careful. Gonna have to stick by their support for the time being. And grouping here is probably the best bet to try to keep them alive. Just try to cover and maybe find a pick off on a side lane. But like I said, the movement abilities on the side of SETU is just too much, and Chipek's gonna have to pop the dominance once again, but no damage has been dealt to the Aurelia. Now a big shot from them has trying to take them down, but the GA not gonna matter, and I think this is just gonna be the end of the game. Crawling Titan trying to walk away, but it's not gonna matter. Voltaic is the last member standing, but that's gonna be a second inhib and the Nexus.
That is going to be the game. Going over to SETU Black Ice. Really well played by them. Admittedly, the early game was a bit sloppier from both these teams. A lot of fights going on, but SETU really showing why they won the first game. As again, another really strong performance from GWE. 13-0-7. Another perfect KDA from a member of SETU Black Ice. And I mean, unfortunately for DCU, they played well in the early game. I don't think there was anything too poor they did there. I really think it just got out of control once the side of SETU Black Ice snowballed, and once those Aurelia just kept picking up those kills. I just think Chipax could not stop the bleeding from the top lane, and I don't think Voltaic could do any more of a job to help him. And I think it just got too much for the side of DCU. Yeah,
they definitely had some glimmers in that game where they shown that they can play against a team like SETU, which just SETU was better on the day. But that's going to be it for our first game this evening. We will have another game coming up very shortly, but for the time being, we're going to throw to a quick break, and we'll see you guys very soon.